What up, my freaks? Ruinous and Psych here, welcoming you to part 1 of a brand new modded Total Warhammer 2 Let's Play. Continuing my coverage of the Sundering update to SFO, and as promised, running more or less alongside Imric, we have Rakarth of the Thousand Maws, a greatest beastmaster to ever master of beast. Rakarth is one of the rare Let's Plays that wasn't decided by vote on this channel. Rather, I wanted to play him when his DLC dropped, but obviously had to wait until SFO Sundering update came out and started with the voted campaign, which was the Imric campaign. But here we are now. Before we get started, you guys can probably guess that there will be some housekeeping things about scheduling and voting and whatnot to go over, but as always, timestamps will be in the comments below if you want to skip. I'll try to keep it brief either way. So, scheduling. I don't determine post schedule, and I have no idea what is posted when. It is purely up to the algorithm. I never cut a Let's Play short, unless the game breaks, mind you, but how often I post a particular Let's Play and how long the episodes are is up entirely to the algorithm, and therefore up to you guys. You guessed it, your likes and comments function to manipulate the algorithm into keeping particular Let's Plays and, content like Total Warhammer in general at the top of the quote-unquote to post list. So if you like this Let's Play, if you want to see it up as often as possible, like Total Warhammer in general, or just want to drop as much appreciated, once again, quote-unquote, algorithm-like / comment to support the channel, please do so. This is the way. The YouTube way, anyway. That's about it, minus the general shoutouts, so obviously a huge shoutout to Venris and the SFO team for bringing up the definitive, or Total Warhammer experience. The game really now seems barren without SFO to me, but I guess I digress. And of course, a huge shoutout to you guys for all the support. I just do YouTube for fun, so, it's mostly in my time off from my day job, and all the tips and discussions and what have you, the comments in general, keep it fun, and keep this channel alive. Anyway, that's enough of that. We're at 0 Maws so far, people. We got at least 1,000 to go. Or maybe we got 995 to go, if we consider the War Hydra. Do we consider it as just 1 Maw? There's gonna be a lot of maw counting in this particular campaign. Anyway, let's see what we're working with here, shall we? We got the monster pens, which is Rakarth's special thing that we know about, and I guess we'll learn about as we go. Ooh, forces do not receive vigor penalties from raiding stance. That's huge. That is absolutely huge, because we can make a lot of cash while raiding and not being worried about being attacked suddenly and wrecked. Beautiful. Upkeep -10 for monstrous units, so that's for the entire faction as well. Not surprising and very welcome. And missile resistance +10% when laying siege, completely random, but I guess it'll be nice for when we're charging walls with monsters. Okay, and the Lord's personal effects, +10 melee defense for monstrous units. Well, that's going to be very, very helpful. Recruitment -1 for all monstrous units as well, and speed -25 for war beasts and monster enemies. Okay, so the enemies are slower, so I guess if we have Reaper Bolt throwers and we have things like Scorch Runner chariots, we can take them down from range before they even reach our monster line, although I think I'd like to see monster-on-monster action more so. Other than that, let's see, we start in Albion. Okay, so that'll be pretty interesting. We're close to Bretonnia, we're close to Norskens, we're close to Ulthuan, and we're close to the edges of Nagarath itself with Karond Kar, and up north, all the territory that Haganeth usually takes, and the other Norskens. Okay, I like that. I think I like the starting position, because it seems like we have lots of choices in which ways we attack. And I always like that, as opposed to, being landlocked up where Malekith is. Well, I mean, he does have a port, but he always fights there, and it's just so annoying. Anyway, I digress again. Let's start the campaign, shall we? It is said that the dungeons of Karond Kar are filled with the creatures that Rakarth has tamed, and that amongst them can be found one or more of every monster ever discovered in the known world. Yet the renowned Beastmaster's work is never done. Even now, he still searches the world for more creatures to increase his martial might and carry out his bidding. After a temporary stopover in Albion for resupply, the Beast Lord of Karond Kar prepares his monstrous entourage for war.
Welcome to Albion, Rakarth, greatest of all beastmasters. These isles will serve as a stepping stone to the old world, and its many opportunities for beast capturing and raiding. These are lands of the primitive, war-loving Norskens. Their territory may not be all you will gain from ousting them, as they are known for the monstrous creatures that fight in their ranks. Once your monster pens are filled, they will serve you well for an invasion southward. The old world's realms of men are rich with potential slaves and plunder to seize for your coffers. You have scores to settle with your hated cousins in Ulthuan, so they should not be spared from your predations. Perhaps there may be a dragon egg or two to help burgeon your collection of beasts. By accumulating enough wealth and power, you could even move to gain control of your home city of Karond Kar. Whether it be by diplomacy or force, the choice is yours. Many of your kind have come before you, mighty Beastmaster, but none approach your consummate skill and expertise at taming the untamable. Let the world feel the sting of your lash.
Yes, we'll certainly do that. Alrighty, so here we go. How they play the Thousand Maws. Obviously, since I've been waiting for SFO, I don't actually know how this works. Rakarth and his force can capture various beasts and monsters for the monster pens to instantly recruit into any army. Instantly. Okay, so that sounds like they work like regiments of renown. Creatures are captured by winning battles under certain conditions or at settlements owned by specific races, as well as by raiding specific climates. Okay, so we get free monsters by raiding. Fair enough. High-level characters have a higher chance of capturing creatures in these ways and are more likely to capture more powerful beasts. Alright, so basically we want a lot of XP fast, and we want to raid a bunch to get a bunch of free monsters. Probably not free, I mean, they'll probably still cost upkeep and stuff, but still. Of Maws and Men. Oh, that's good. Damn it, that would have been a good title for an episode. Alrighty, let's see. The rabid beasts of the Thousand Maws are mighty indeed, for many wars have been won on the backs of Lord Rakarth's monstrous horde alone. Yet it is foot soldiers, archers, and mounted warriors that are the focal point around which battles are typically lost and won. Be it with more beasts or Druki warriors, Rakarth must bolster his army to ensure the inevitability of his victory in the name of slaves, plunder, and conquest. Alright, okay, you advisor, stop it. Alright, so it looks like we have lots of options with who to attack. We have Ulthuan itself, which I feel like we pretty much have to do, especially as Rakarth in the lore went after Ulthuan himself, I mean, which is not surprising at all. Then we have the option of all these southern lands here. We have, we have Marienburg out here, which is main. Here we have Karond and all the Bretonian stuff. Hello, Skull Island. Okay, well that's a goal immediately. Obviously, this is all after we take Albion. I'm just taking a look at what else we have. And now this guy said we should attack the Norskens. I don't really want to attack the Norskens for one simple reason. They have 100% Chaos Corruption. I remember from my first Malekith campaign, taking over the Hmong territories up here with their 100% Chaos Corruption, just sitting there for like 20 turns with non-stop rebellions, and it's just the most boring thing ever. So I think I want to avoid that. I mean, I guess we're running into the sort of same situation here, but once we clear these out and in our home territory, maybe we'll be okay. Alright, so what do we have here? A special building that allows us to immediately recruit harpies and corsairs and increases our income from slaves. Okay, yeah. And it adds walls to the settlement. Interesting. Okay, construction 3... grants 3 construction slots in the settlement. This gives us walls. And this is a garrison that is an outpost that does not give us walls. I take it because this is a Norsken territory? Okay, fair enough. Well, I guess we have no choice but to go Dark Elf Tower immediately, and I guess we gotta go either Dark Elf Manors for the growth, or... You know what? This is without any units recruited, and I remember Dark Elf units being really expensive, so I feel like we just gotta go Artisan's House right away. Especially since its income from all buildings increased, and that'll buff up the income we get from the restored port of Nagarath when we get it. Alright, so let's do that. Artisan's House right away. We'll ask for more slaves, just because. Who do we have here? Boudica Soulblaze. You are determined... Oh, wow, that is a terrible, terrible trait. So you are going to be replaced. You are a beast sorceress, not surprising at all. Alright, well, you're going into Rakarth's army right now. Okie dokie, and... Why did I feel like I clicked something here? It looked weird. Huh. Maybe there's an island there. Because it looked like... It looked like that, the circle. Huh. I'm not seeing anything now. Weird. It could have been screwed up, or it could have been in the fog. I guess we'll find out in a sec. Let us attack our first enemy, a Life Goldbranson here, and before we attack you, I just want to see what Rakarth's got. Alright, so obviously he has Brachus, his personal Black Dragon. Beast Tamer, you buff charge bonus for harpies, cold ones, basically all monsters. But I noticed that these are all specific creatures, and not only that, they are all specific Dark Elf creatures, which means that other faction stuff, which Rakarth can technically get, won't apply here, I take it? Well, we'll see. Alright, Carrion Crows, no upkeep cost for harpies. Oh, okay, so we can get a... Okay, well this game is basically telling us get a bunch of harpies. Okay, fair enough. We'll do that early on while we still need a lot of money. Harpies aren't great, but I guess we'll have to buff them up. Does Lashmaster buff them? Yes, it does. Doesn't give them any melee defense, though. Although Rakarth's Beast Lord ability should, if they count as monstrous units. Alright. Let's see. Breeding Program. War Hydra and Charybdis. Definitely going to get a bunch of those. Lovely. And let's see. Wait. Frost Breath for Charybdis. Wait, it gives Charybdis the Frost Breath ability. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. Let's see. Free range, public order, enemy replenishment. Okay, I don't care about that. That's garbage. We have increased chance will be added to the monster pens while raiding or doing stuff. Yes. Scourge Runner Chariots and Reaper Bolt Throwers gain Harpy Claw ammunition. Reduces enemy movement speed on hit. Oh, lovely. Okay. That'll make it quite useful to actually have some Reaper Bolt Throwers in our army. Pack Hunters, so power up with stock for our cold ones. Apex Predators, or Predator rather, weapon strength for Sea Dragons and Black Dragons, so the dragons, and Murderous Prowess for all monstrous units. Oh wow. That's insane. That is an insane buff. Okay, definitely. I wish it was faction-wide instead of Lord Army, but it's okay. Unit capacity for all monsters from the pens, and replenishment, and more buffs for Hydras. Well, the upkeep reduction is kind of useless for Rakarth because he already has the free upkeep, but okay, pretty interesting. Alright, let's get to it. First battle. I think that's enough reading for now, at least. Oh, I probably could have tried to recruit some units. Whatever. Now, we should be able to take this out. The Hydra and Rakarth together should be able to take out the Feral Mammoth, and if nothing else, we could use shots from the Reaper Bolt Throwers, although they'll probably be focused on the Marauder Hunters with Javelins, because we don't have any other ranged answers to them. Okay, well, this should be a pretty interesting. We're obviously going to make this a cinematic battle, because I always do the first one cinematic style, so let's get to it. Alrighty, here we go. Rakarth's debut battle. So, pretty simple setup over here. The enemy is on the other side. We do have this watery area that we get slowed down if we're in. Fortunately, we do have the shades that are going to start off in Vanguard Deployment just to try to get some shots off and force the army to chase them. This is necessary partly because our Reaper Bolt Throwers do not range the enemy army from where they're currently located. They have to move up quite a bit before they can hit them, so it's up to the shades this time. So start getting those crossbow bolts in, boys. Let's see how much damage we can do to the enemy Marauder Hunters with javelins, since we don't once again have much to offer in terms of our range firepower. It's basically just these shades, and they're probably better off flanking the enemy units with their great swords anyway, than they are just straight up doing nothing but firing, especially as their range is quite short when they don't have the shade range buffing lord. Ooh, that was cool. It's like a Dark Elf Aurora or something. It's like purple. Huh.
Take cover! Enemy fire!
Take cover, enemy fire. Does that mean that the Reaper Bolt Throwers are going to start firing? Well, regardless, the enemy has decided that the... we've kicked over the anthill, basically. They're upset. And, ooh, that's a giant sword in the background. What the hell? What is that? I'm getting distracted by this map. Oh, it's like a... Huh. Is it carved out of ice, or is it actually a carving? Is it stone? Because it looks like a giant, I don't know, dragon head or demon head. Kind of hard to say. I don't know if it's actually made of stone or not. And yeah, skulls we're used to, because we know that the winds of magic sort of carve the skulls or erode rocks into evil shapes. But this could have very well been done by Norskens if it isn't, in fact, a ossified bone. But anyway. What was I talking about? What was I talking about? Regardless. Let's see. The enemy are moving up. Oh, I wanted to take a look at Rakarth. That's what I was gonna be looking for. There we go. Let's see what you'll look like there, buddy. You got your lash there with a hook on the end. Is that a harpy claw? I don't know. And you have your pretty standard Beastmaster helmet sort of deal, and you've got a spear, looks like. Alrighty. Although it's more of like a sword on a stick than a spear, really. But anyway, is he halberd infantry or is he spear? No, it is spear and whip. Okay. Just a really big spear. Let's see. Otherwise, they are moving in, and they've taken a fair amount of damage. We did get a little bit of a breath in with a Hydra. I actually missed that there, but it wasn't a big deal. It didn't do too much damage as compared to everybody else, although the Marauder Spearmen have certainly taken some damage. And here comes the charge, the first charge for Rakarth's army. The Javelins moving in. We're holding our shields up, and here we go. Marauders with spears jumping in. Fighting dread spears. Whose spears are the more dreaded here? I would imagine the Norskens do more damage, but these guys hold the line better. That is what I would expect to be the case. And here we go. The clash of the monsters is also about to happen. Hydra stopped a little bit. And it's 5 Maws versus 2 Maws in this particular scenario. Because the Chaos Mammoths... the Chaos Mammoths have the extra lamprey mouth sort of thing that they have going on their tusk there. Whereas obviously you have your 5 heads and therefore 5 Maws. I'm going to be counting Maws every battle, aren't I? Anyway, oh, we also have Rakarth dueling Mr. Leif Gulbranson over here. If that is the correct name that I'm remembering. Just as Marauder Chieftain, regardless. Anyway, so these guys are going to be having a nice little time. Over here, in the meantime, we do have our Shades that are once again firing on these poor range units who are getting kind of wrecked here. They're almost done. As soon as they rout, we're going to switch out of skirmish mode, switch into melee greatsword mode, and try to chase down and, or rather, try to flank and attack these guys. Try to make them rout as fast as possible so we can help out with this, just because it looks like the Hydra's getting absolutely ridiculously beat up by the Mammoth, and that's with the Mammoth trying to focus down Rakarth at the same time. And it's also with us trying to fire on the Mammoth with our single-shot artillery. I'm very, very impressed with the Mammoth right now, but fortunately, we do finally pop our Murderous Prowess. Should power up everybody enough that we should be able to take care of the rest of this. There we go. There's the Shades charging into the rear lines of this unit of enemy Marauders on the sides here, and they should get wrecked right away. In fact, they are broken immediately, which means we can separate these units and help out against this massive Feral Mammoth. It looks like the Hydra got one of its heal procs off, and it did get about, I don't know, maybe 10-15% HP back, something like that. Maybe 20. I didn't look how badly it was hurt, but it looked like it was at about half HP before. Otherwise, we're also sending in our Sorceress over here. She only has Wissen's Wild form, unfortunately, so she can only buff people defensively. As in, it's not an offensive cast, it's a buff. But that's okay. She can also help out with providing her leadership aura and to help out with fighting these Marauders. It looks like the Mammoth has finally rampaged and is about close to the same amount of HP as our Hydra now. Rakarth is still fighting the enemy lord, who is not really hurt. Both Rakarth and our Hydra are sort of losing, but now that the Mammoth has taken all this damage, finally it routs, and we should be able to turn the tables here. I did not mean to speed it up, my bad. And why is it still sped up? Okay, no it's not, never mind. Just a little bit of a delay there, and there we go. It looks like the enemy army shatters off of that. As soon as that Mammoth went, the entire army broke, and yeah, there was a little bit of a speed up there, but whatever. Rakarth and the Hydra will hopefully be able to chase the enemy down. We got a lot of kills with our Shades there from that one rear charge, and the second rear charge also helped out with these troops, so definitely great use of the Shades. I might get another unit of Shades here. eventually, but obviously we're going to need more monsters right off the bat. In fact, let's speed up the rest of this. We're just going to chase down some enemy units. The enemy lord is wounded, but unfortunately the enemy mammoth looks like it's going to be able to get away because we don't really have any way to chase it down and kill it since it took so damn long just the damage in the first place. And there we go, a close victory, and I do think we did take some damage to at least some of our troops. I don't know whether it warrants a close victory, but I guess we will find out in a sec. I'm curious to see how much damage everybody did, so let's find out.
You fought well.
Alright, a close victory, but not a horrible one at the end of the day, and it looks like the feral mammoth does survive. It was really tough. I was surprised at how difficult the mammoth was to bring down, and look at the disparity in unit kills. Obviously, these shades with great swords did incredibly well, getting 31k damage, getting all those rear charges, the range damage in, and all that stuff, beating the Hydra and badly beating Rakarth, and even beating the Reaper Bolt Throwers. Absolutely fantastic job to these shades, and I think they're gonna have themselves a name for that. For those of you unfamiliar with the way I do Let's Plays, generally I like to give units names. Well, there are some exceptions, but generally when they earn them, i.e. perform really well, like this particular scenario. I'm surprised that they did that much more damage than the Hydra did. I suppose what I should have done with the Hydra is actually move it out and get a second breath off when it went off cooldown. I guess that was the one of the bigger mistakes here, but I thought that it would be able to bring down that feral mammoth together with Rakarth a little bit earlier, but damn. Feral mammoth, you did well. What I think we need to do is, while I would love to murder the captives, we're going to enslave them to get our units back, because we're going to have to fight this army again. Alright, enslave please. And, oh, you're going to go near Conquata, and you're going to be too far away for us to catch now. Oh. Okay, well, that'll make Conquata more difficult to fight. Alright, well, it is what it is. Scavengers of the Dead. Ah, Harpies. I was just talking about you guys. Alright, the stench of death pervades the air, rising from the bloody corpses littering the battlefield as far as the eye can see. It isn't long before the Harpies descend. On leathery wings, they circle the field of battle, searching for their next meal. It is all too easy for you to break their spirits and teach them the meaning of obedience. They will make for fine additions to your menagerie of monsters, earned by winning a land battle with high casualty rates. Alright, so free Harpies, essentially, for winning and taking damage. Alright. Alright, so one of the things about Rakarth is he doesn't get a penalty for raiding in terms of his vigor of his force, so he might as well basically always be in raiding. And otherwise, let's approach Conquata and take it next turn. We have all of Albion to take. In the meantime, Root Marcher and Inspiring Presence, obviously. Then after that, we'll go into Sea Dragon Cloak, straight into Lashmaster as fast as possible to buff up all of our monsters. We'll wait until next turn, then we'll get some Harpies into our army as well. You have leveled up. You have a hand... No, that's Rakarth's hand weapon. Okay. And let's see. Let's go Wisdom's Wild Form Flock of Doom. We need to be able to spam that. Max it out as fast as possible. Flock of Doom is an amazing spell. I love that. Alrighty, let's see. We only have Choose or Die. Well, that's interesting because we don't have a choice. So I guess we should just die. Or, I mean, I guess we don't die because we only have the one option, so we choose it. But anyway. Funny name. Let's see. Otherwise... what do we have? I feel like it should automatically research anything if there's only one option to research. Especially if it's although I suppose it's hard to do that if there are some researches give negative traits, right? And ooh, let's take a look at what this is. I take it stuff that was added by SFO. So, Secrets of the Jungle, Occupied Itza. Oh, so this is about occupying stuff. Well, Skaven Blight we might get, but it'll probably be far away. And it may not happen. What do we get here? Sartosa is possible. Maelstrom is possible. Missile resistance for all monsters. Weapon strength for all monsters. Monster trophies generated. What the hell are monster trophies? Prize creatures. Rakarth travels the world, collecting exotic specimens to ship back to Karond Kar. Within the Slaver's Gate, these creatures can be broken and tamed and traded to wealthy dreadlords for considerable power and influence, gained through researching unlockable tech spent on 6 different powerful technologies. Oh, okay, so that's these. Interesting. Gifts for the Admirals, 25% movement range. Oh, lovely. Hero capacity, that one's not great. Research rate plus 25, but more importantly, plus 2 public order. Not bad. Righty wins a magic power reserve. Income from raising settlements plus 100%. And untainted, I appreciate that. Diplomatic relations with Norskens and Dark Elves. And income from slaves. Definitely good there. Alright, Secrets of the Western Men for Karond occupied. So we should be able to get this one fairly easily. And the other one's Viragliano, possible. Drakenhof is far away, Lamia is far away, Caracate Peaks, pretty damn far. Man, a lot of these are really super far. Altdorf we should be able to get, ooh, upkeep minus 10% for all monsters from monster pens. Lovely. And Creatures of Ice for Kislev, it's really, really far away. Man, most of these are just unlikely to be reachable. Yeah, Strider for all monsters isn't bad, though. And I do like the missile resistance, but, Forest Outpost Black Spire, eh? And what else we have here? Occupied Lothern, 10% ward save for all monsters from the pens. Glorious. And 20% magic resistance. Capture Phoenixes. Ooh, can we recruit Phoenixes? Dark Phoenixes, perhaps?
Dominating.
Oh, I also have a... I want to bring Ava the Dark Phoenix, which was a sorceress, an immortal sorceress from the Malice campaign, back here. But obviously it's not going to be you because I don't like your trait. We're going to replace it later. Yeah, okay. Other than that, I believe that this turn is over. And I just want to check diplomacy. What are we looking at here? Attitudes. Who will trade with us? What? Bretonia is willing to trade with us? I mean, in theory. They don't actually like us. Who else we have? Kofthi, Cleoness... Musion, Karun. Try trading with Scourge of Cain. No. Okay. Vanna Heimlings. Okay, so basically we're trading with who we can trade already. Yeah, and oh, we're already trading with World Walkers. Huh. Wait, so if we have a non-aggression pact and we're trading with them, why did this guy tell us to attack them? Well, whatever. I'm not doing it anyway. Unless I really, really feel like it. But I don't want to deal with a billion rebellions, because that sounds like a boring as hell time. Let's end the turn. Let's proceed. Yeah, I want to be at least more or less loreful here with raiding the Southern Lands and attacking Ulthuan as per lore. Okay, you're going to move back in, so this should be a reasonably tough battle here. The Dragon and the Kraken. Two of oh yes, you will be able to, given the opportunity to confederate with Karond Kar, just like Imric and Kalidor. So it really makes sense to have these two played at the same time, doesn't it? Alright, two of Karond Kar's greatest sons currently roam the world's oceans. One, the Beast Lord Rakarth, has filled the city's infamous dungeons with all manner of monstrous horrors. The other, Lokir Felhard, delivers golden idols and spectacular artifacts to the city's vaults. But Karond Kar's truest currency is neither beasts nor priceless trinkets, but slaves. Were either of these two fearsome Druki able to fulfill the city's slave markets to the brim, they would be well placed to make a play for the city itself and declare themselves its Drakau. Okay, great. And hello, Howling Winds. Captured units, blah, 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 earned by raiding Frozen. Okay, so we got these for free for raiding this place. Lovely. And prowling the wild forests of this region, wolf packs descend upon the unwary in search of their next meal. Thus it was but a matter of time before your raids into their territory resulted in a confrontation. Though wild, vicious, and resourceful, the whole pack is soon cornered and ensnared by your men. Brought before you, it seems they recognize the ice in your veins and the cruelty of your gaze. It would seem that this pack has found a new leader. Lovely. Alrighty, and construct one of each of the following. Buildings, restored port of Nagarath. We'll read this later, because we just read enough. Oh, that's for his Whip of Agony quest. Oh, lovely. And the restored port is this, right? Yes. Okay, perfect. We know about that. Before we attack this, we will obviously recruit, as they still have some decent stuff in here, plus the stuff in Conquata. You will go out of raiding stance. Right? It doesn't really buff you up in any way. Let's see, we could get... Ooh, Druki First Strike. Yes, let's go into Druki First Strike. Then, we can't get regiments over now because we're not leveled, but we can get 2 Harpies and 2 Giant Wolves instead of recruiting regular units. I think that's what we're going to do. It's going to cripple our income, but hopefully after we get the Citadel of Lead and Conquata itself, it'll be a little bit better. Alrighty, so that sounds good to me. Let's get to it. Do you necessitate another cinematic battle? I suppose. I mean... It would be very, very similar to the last one. Maybe we fight this regular battle style instead of cinematic style. I just feel like it'll be exactly like the same one, but a little bit easier. Because we now have the Harpies and the Wolves to charge the rear lines. And I don't see much difference in this battle. Now, alright, well, in either way, because of the way that replays work in this game, I do have to make a cut here to comment over the previous battle, which you guys have obviously seen, but I haven't commented over yet. So I'm going to make that cut, and I just like to explain why I do these cuts at the second battle after a cinematic battle, and any new Let's Play for those already familiar why that's done. So here's the cut. Alrighty, there it is, and let's get to it. And once again, since the enemy army is badly damaged, it isn't actually as big as the host looks here. I don't imagine this particular battle is going to present any kind of problem, so let's just do it in a regular non-cinematic style. Oh, they have a rock, or they have a... they have high elevation, but that's okay. We can just force them down with our artillery anyway. Alrighty, so, simple setup. Let's get the Harpies, let's say, out here. Wolves, can you appear behind the enemy forces? You can, but you can't hide out there, so I guess we're better off, say, setting you up right here where you're hidden. There we go. And then we'll switch you up as we get you somewhere better. We need you guys to be in range, so let's get you right here. Switch you to the multi-shot round. The enemy mammoth is fortunately hurt, so we shouldn't be too concerned about it. You guys are all going to be in the center here, like so. Yes. Rakarth, you need to stay a little bit back this time, because you're hurt, and I don't want you routing, which will cause all of our cowardly dread spears and stuff to rout. You... I guess you can stay up here. Try to annoy the enemy. With some range firepower, but fortunately our Reaper Bolters do reach this time, so that's not as big a deal. Let's also remove guard mode from you, from Rakarth, and probably from you as well. And I think that's about it. Let's do it. Go. And okay, they're over here this time for some reason. Ooh, let's get you guys back. Let's move you guys around. And you are going to fire on whoever you can reach. I guess whoever has the most HP is probably the best target anyway. Move you like so. Ooh, we should probably set you guys up so that you're probably facing them a little bit better like us. And the rest of you. Alright, are you really going to move Marauder Hunters with javelins here? Okay, well that's fine. Don't get in range, Harpies. Are they going to follow these guys? Alright, well that's fine. That's a waste of time for them. We can destroy the rest of the army while we're at it. You, Hydra, let's get you your first breath in. Right now, in fact. Huh. I don't think this is going to be good at single target, but I want to see how well it does. I really want this mammoth off the field right away. We're going to breathe on it. It's got... How much HP does it got? It's got 5,941. Not too... Actually, not too bad. That would do a lot less damage, but about 1,000. Alright, and then it's going to rampage and charge. We'll have Rakarth and, let's say, a set of spears move into it. And everybody... Okay, we can speed it back up now that that's over. You guys go. You. Let's get your crow right here, and then you guys are going to start... You know what? Go into melee mode and toggle skirmish mode off and just charge. Screw it. I think you'll be fine. You switch to targeting that stuff over there. Harpies and co. Move in. Ignore the rest of those units. And there we go. The mammoth is just about out of the way, so we should be just fine as soon as it's done. Alright, well, let's watch that happen. Will you be able to bring it down, or will it just run? I think it fights to the death while it's rampant. No, it's not. It's just going to break. Okay. Well... Huh. Does... Not killing it give us a bigger chance to capture it? Well, it doesn't matter because it's a settlement battle either way. So we will, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. Now, is the enemy lured here? Do they even have a lure? I don't know. But Harpies, go attack this. Other Harpies, go attack that. And then we'll have Wolves attack you, and then Wolves attack you. There we go. Double up on it. And you guys didn't actually move in. I swear I told you to go into melee and attack all this. You go into Wiston's wild form, help these dread spears out, at least give them the extra 30 armor so that they may survive a little bit longer. And these guys are going to get charged in the back, so they are going to have to deal with that. Let's whiplash the Hydra. I probably should have whiplashed it while we were fighting the enemy the enemy mammoth, but the enemy mammoth's done. You two are good here. These guys are still chasing, but the marauder hunters are done. Oh, they do have a lord, and it's a marauder pathfinder. But in the meantime, let's use all of our quick running units to destroy the rest of this, and this battle should be over any second now. I imagine the rest of the army will rout as soon as this portion routs as well. You target that force. Bloody murder indeed. Oh, speaking of bloody murder, where's our murderous prowess? And there we go. Wolves and hydras are in. And there we go. There's the murderous prowess as well. Hydra, you know what? Can you just move in a little bit closer, please? I actually be amongst the enemy troops. Or, you know what? Move towards that unit of marauder spears and breathe on them. Rakarth, you're doing okay. A little bit of damage. You guys, I guess you could chase that down, but... Oh, you know what? Let's get you out. A little bit worried about you. And let's use another one of these Flocks of Doom right there. And you, Hydra. Since you're not gonna get too many good breaths out in this battle, at least breathe on these guys. Oh wow, that really went wide. At least target the main portion of the enemy host. Damn. Alright, you target that, prevent them from running away. You guys actually switch to range mode, and then you guys sit back. Ooh, no. Target that, please. Alright, we should be just about done. Yeah, you ready? You ready to rout there? Yes, indeed. That's exactly what I said with regards to the routing. You guys are... Oh, it's because you're a lord, or maybe it's because the enemy lord hasn't routed. You know what? Have the Hydra go kill the enemy lord, while the rest of you chase. Sans the Hydra. We can't send Rakarth to kill the enemy lord, of course, because he's too damaged. You guys all do this. You don't need to chase them, though. Our bleak swords are about to rout, but they've taken a lot of damage. But that's okay. We're in a territory here that's about to be ours, so we can just heal up. And keep going, please. Like so. And you're going to rout in a second, and this battle's over. There we are. Alrighty, as I said, we don't need to chase it down, and this one was indeed a close victory, because we did take a lot of damage to our line troops. Our Harpies didn't take a lot of damage, despite going in. Ooh, lots of kills on our doggos, which is not really all that surprising. Gotta try to probably replace a bunch of these Dread Spears and Bleak Swords with Harpies, just because they cost nothing, as I was saying earlier. Or at least they will once we hit up rank 12. Alright, there we are. Close victory. We are not going to loot and occupy this just because I don't like the extra provincial instability, and this is our home province. There we go. A Whip of Misery. Well, Rakarth already should have a Whip of Misery, all on his own. Winds of Magic cost -1 for Word of Pain. Obviously, we'll replace that to somebody else afterwards. Maybe he could get a better whip. And, ooh, hello, Tusk's Terror. We captured a feral mammoth. Captured units can be instantly recruited for the monster pens. Yeah, we know that. Earned by capturing a Norsken settlement. Are you telling me that any time we capture a Norsken settlement, we get a feral mammoth? I guess it's a chance to. Alright, with glorious victory comes a most rare and coveted prize. The Norskens have raised from infancy a gargantuan mammoth, brimming with the energies and mutations of chaos. A hulking monstrosity of raw power and strength, the mammoth is a rare sight, but for those tamed by the Norskens. Now this beast, whose tusks are longer than most men are tall, will reside among your company of monsters as both a powerful weapon and a testament to your glory. Alrighty. Glory to Rakarth. You can have Sea Dragon Cloak and Lash Master. We'll max that out before doing anything else, I think. And you are going to go into Nun Stance. And I believe we're good. A Citadel of Lead. What do you have in terms of defenders? Basically nothing. So even with our army hurt, we shouldn't have any kind of trouble there. And we don't have any money to spend, so let's end the turn. Or rather, we do have money to spend, but we have nothing to spend it on. A little bit different. And damn. Look at how fast that's going by. Oh, you're going to start building a new army, aren't you? Now, in theory, we could get our mammoth in here. In theory. We can't... Oh, we can't hit the Citadel of Lead in a single turn, so that will get some units. And did Citadel of Lead just upgrade itself? Or did it always have that many units? Well, it should be about the same in terms of battle as it was there. I guess we could move right here, go into an encamp stance, and then reach it afterwards, right? Oh, you don't have an encamp stance because you're relying on black arcs. I feel like this is a waste because this basically makes us have no income. Let's try to do it without. I think since we won that battle, it shouldn't be too much trouble. And Conquata, you can defend yourself, but yeah, we're gonna go right here and we're gonna go into raiding. It'll mean less healing. but I think we'll still be okay.
Beast.
Like so, and it looks like Boudica leveled up as well, so we'll keep going for Wild Heart and Flock of Doom higher level. And did we get anything here? Ooh, yes. 2,000 gold for this, but it doubles up the income. Yeah, it'll be worthwhile. Alright, do it. We'll obviously switch to slave income later, but we need regular income right now, so end turn, and unless there's somebody to diplomatize with. Nope, doesn't look like it. I was just hoping for more trade, but I guess nobody wants to trade with Rakarth at this early on. Wait, does Rakarth have a black dragon as his personal standard? I feel like Malekith wouldn't allow that. I always go with only faction white caps for this, just because I like to make themed armies, and sometimes that warrants more than a minimal number of a specific kind of unit in a specific kind of army. Like, for example, if we were to get an army that needs one of those lords that buffs up shades, we'd obviously want an army with basically nothing but shades, right? So yeah, only faction-wide caps recommend. And here we go. One more battle. I wish we had some more harpies. Wait, so we just raided, but we didn't get more wolves. Huh, well, whatever. I guess it's not every time you raid. Let's do it.
Show no mercy.
Yeah, about the same battle as last time, except they're weaker because they don't have a mammoth to rely upon. Let's just fight it in a regular fashion once again, and that should shore up our home province. Alrighty, I wasn't originally planning on making this a cinematic battle, and in fact I fought it the regular way while commenting over it while fighting, but it turned out a little bit longer than I thought it would be, i.e. it lasted more like several minutes instead of 1 minute, so here we go. We're just going to do it in cinematic style anyway, with slightly inferior control, I suppose, since I was commenting at the time, and some, I guess, weirder cuts, but that's okay. So this time we do have both harpies and the giant wolves to make use of. The enemy do have their own Norsken warhounds. I would have loved to get a proper duel with the giant wolves, so we are going to try to do that, although it won't be quite as effective as I'd like, because they're actually keeping their wolves close to them instead of doing what the AI usually does with Cav, which is sort of send it out to the flanks. In the meantime, we obviously have our bombarding artillery, trying to focus the biggest pile of enemy units that it can reach, at least break up their formations, whittle them down, screw this whole thing up. The AI is actually really good at dodging with artillery because it knows exactly who it's firing at, which has always been kind of annoying, but oh well. And oh, there we go, I just missed the charge. The doggos and the wolves, i.e. the Norsken warhounds, that's going to get confusing because I call our wolves doggos as well, fighting. And it looks like, just by appearance, it looks like the Norsken wolfhounds, or warhounds, should be a lot tougher than the wolves, but on paper, that's quite a bit different, because the giant wolves are 36-31 and cause bleed, and the warhounds, if I can select one, have basically nothing and are 25-20, so we definitely have a huge advantage. And of course the harpies are coming in to help out to try to kill the Norsken warhounds a little bit faster, but unfortunately the enemy AI is going to send in a group of marauders to do the exact same thing. We have our own harpies. I tried to get these harpies in here just to stop this unit in its tracks and prevent it from rear charging these guys as they try to take care of the warhounds, but it didn't quite work out, so we are going to have to more or less get them out. So we drop in, and then we move away as fast as possible. There we go. One of the harpy units, unfortunately, does get stuck there, so it's going to take quite a bit of damage. In the meantime, oh, I did not mean to speed it up yet again. Let's take away that information. The Hydra moving in and trying to block these units. I wasn't actually trying to block them. I was trying to get a breath going. But at the same, you know, as I was saying before, when commenting at the same time, it's obviously not going to be as effective. I generally don't like to send single units forward like this and force the AI to blob up, but I guess it did happen organically this time, so I don't feel too bad. A Flock of Doom going down on all these marauders. I believe there's 2 units in here, yes, and they are taking damage from the range units firing on them, even if that is a little bit accidentally cheesy. In the meantime, we are going to send in a couple units to reinforce this, but the Hydra should be just fine, especially as it can heal heal up. Rakarth is probably going to move around to try to get a nice little duel going with the enemy Marauder Pathfinder, while we get another battle line set up in this particular tree line here to block the main, or the majority of the enemy host. They, after all, have 4 full units of Marauders still ready to go after seeing off that 1 unit of Harpies that routed. And we're going to have to wait for them to actually attack. This is actually reasonably good because it forced their army to split up. So we could sort of destroy it piecemeal, which is always nice, even if it wasn't what we were looking for. Alright, Rakarth moving in, and wow, a spear, a single spear thrust and sends a bunch of enemy units going. There we go. Ooh, wait, what? It looked like he poked somebody with a spear and his head came off. Huh, that's interesting, because he poked them. Instead of, I guess his head exploded, or maybe the spear went right through his neck? I'm not sure. I really don't know what happened there. Alright, there we go. We found the enemy lord, and we are going to try to take him down. It looks like Rakarth is actually taking more damage than the enemy lord is at first. Well, I suppose Rakarth was hurt, and our army was fairly hurt at the very start of this battle, simply because we weren't worried about what the enemy can do. We also ran off our 2 units of giant wolves. I guess their formation is a little bit screwy here, as well as the harpies, just to try to force the enemy army away from supporting itself. Alrighty, and let's go back into it. The Lord is going to get some reinforcements in the form of Marauder Spears, it looks like, but they shouldn't be all that concerning. Oh, looks like they're sort of running right past the Hydra. But the Hydra ain't having that, and is going to jump and kill several of them. Lovely. And let's see, now the enemy Marauder Pathfinder is... That's still about even with Rakarth, I'd say, especially with the support of these Norsken Warhounds. We're gonna have to... Oh, look at that! Oh, that was awesome. It freaking threw that Marauder way up in the air and caught it. That's adorable. Hydra. So adorable. Alright, now you are going to go back in and make sure that these Norsken Warhounds actually get away this time so we can kill the enemy lord. And there we go. The armies have now clashed. We are going to get the rest of these ones into reinforcing range as soon as we see these routing Marauders off once again, because they are going to come back as we didn't chase them down. As I was a little bit wary of doing so with units that are this hurt, because they could also get isolated and killed. Over here, we had both units of doggos and the harpies chase it down and kill the Marauder Hunters. Unfortunately, we are getting some of our own shots in from our Reaper Bolt Throwers, and that's why we're going to move away. I was going to move them away anyway as soon as this other unit of Marauder Champions came in, because obviously these guys can't really fight them. So they're going to get the hell out of there. Although the bleed, and if they were able to attack them from every side, that would have been nice. Oh, and it looks like the enemy Lord has decided to rout. He did hurt Rakarth a little bit more than I was anticipating, but together with the Hydra, they were finally able to pull it off. And boom, finally the Murderous Prowess activates, and it looks like this army is not long for this world. I think this Dreadspear unit took the most damage, as they're down to 32 units. But that usually happens because they're flanking, or they're a unit that's all the way out on the flanks, and therefore they're bound to take the most damage. The Hydra coming in, knocking apart some more Marauders, and this should be the chain route. It seems like we keep getting chain routes as soon as we pop our Murderous Prowess, which is a little bit unfortunate because we're not getting too much use out of it. At least the Shades did well as they usually do, but look how much damage we took. This Bleak Sword unit is also down to only 24. Our Sorceress, Boudica, who did fight in the actual line. I mean, she has a sword. Why wouldn't she? Took quite a bit of damage. Obviously, we're going to put her on a Dark Pegasus eventually, unless we replace her. And otherwise, I believe we're done. This should be the chain route. I'm just going to speed up through the rest of this. We don't technically need to chase anybody down, even though Rakarth is trying to get that a Lord kill. It's really nice that the enemy Lord can't... I mean, I believe the Marauder Pathfinders have fire while moving, right? So it would be annoying if they could still do that while they were running away and trying to... route off the map. But anyway, another close victory, and this is the last battle of the Van Heimlings, which is once again another reason why I thought that this should be a cinematic battle as well. So there we are. So I guess this is going to be a pretty good point to just sit around and get some buildings leveled up before we go south, and I guess hit Marineburg, which we started war with. Occupy this. I'm correct about that, right? We do start a war with Marineburg. Where is Marienburg? I swear I saw that in Diplo. Yeah, we're war with them. Okay. Albion, yes, we are going to... Ooh, and we captured another feral mammoth, so technically we could get 2. The Vanna Heimlings have been destroyed. Citadel of Lead is now ours, so we're going to go into Artisan's House. And yes, in theory, we should probably go growth, but I want the money early on. In addition to that, we're going to switch immediately to increase slave production quota just for the extra growth, which is just to fix the fact that we aren't able to use the manors, although I guess we'll build it here in the Isle of Wights instead. Alrighty, Rakarth, did you level up again? 2 points into Lashmaster, max it out immediately, lovely. Plus 20 charge for Harpies. Huh, so do these guys also get plus 20 charge? It looks like they do. Unless they had that from something else, but I don't think so, because that's a lot of charge buff. But this doesn't say... This doesn't include the doggos, though, does it? Yes, I know they're wolves, I'm still calling them doggos. Well, whatever. If it works, it works. Doesn't really matter what it says. Let's go Flock of Doom and then Evasion. No, you know what? Let's get Hakardi's Blessing. Then we'll go 1 point in Evasion, quickly into Magical Reserves. Then we'll probably try to go into Scouting, a couple points, just because we need more magical artifacts, and then we can go straight into Arcane Conduit right after that. We do have to get you your Dark Pegasus ASAP, but I guess... Do we really want to waste a point in getting you on a steed? 16 is fairly far away. I'll think about it, and yeah, these guys are too much money, so let's end the turn and let's proceed. Encountered faction Bjornlings. Oh, they're right beside us. They're these guys. Okay, that makes sense because we discovered them as soon as we got the Citadel of Lead and started sharing a border. Confederation between the Scaling and the Worldwalker. And there we go. All this stuff for Black Arcs, that does nothing for us. Ooh, hello, what do we have here? Quest issued. Raise or sack Altdorf. Don't tell me this is timed. Grand Theft Roarto. Word reaches you of a most peculiar thing. The upstart Imperials, no doubt in imitation of your own collection, have amassed quite the array of monstrous creatures in their capital of Altdorf. The zoo, what an absurd word, is said to contain some rather delectable specimens, including a fully grown dragon, the personal mount of the so-called Emperor of Men. The very audacity of it. A human on a dragon. Such a mockery cannot be left unanswered. It is your duty as a Beastmaster to tear down the city walls and liberate this magnificent creature, and then use terrible and twisted magics to dominate and force it to serve your will. We get 3 giant wolves, 1 feral stag, and 1 black dragon. Would have been nice to get some demi-griffs, at least, or griffins. I imagine that the Altdorf Zoo would have some of those. But I could be wrong. But considering they can recruit demigriffs, I feel like it should. Alright, we got a new research, so let's see what we're looking at here. Let's see. Druki Herbalists, a meager offering, sacrifice slaves to get faster, murderous prowess, trash, recruitment rank. Battle is business, not too bad. We get plus 30% rating, and we do want to raid for more free beasts. And then lastly, founded on Tyranny. Okay, yeah, definitely founded on Tyranny. We need the free growth to upgrade this province faster, as it's going to take a while otherwise. At least this is only 1, so that'll be happening next turn. Ooh. Well, let's get the Restore Port right away then. It's going to take all our money, what can you do? In fact, we can get the Dark Manors as well. Oh, wait. No, we should save up the 2,500. No, we should be able to do both. 500. Yeah, we'll be able to do both. We'll have, like, no money left next turn, but that's okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll sit here in the Citadel of Lead for a little while the public order fixes itself and while we build up some stuff. And then we'll sail through here, grab the Sea Corpse, and then move through this mysterious island, and then just, I don't know, sack all this stuff down here. I mean, we could go straight to Ulthuan, but, oh, yeah, see, there's 2 Skull Islands here. We want to quickly build up a strong army, grab these 2 Skull Islands. I'd love to take Marienburg early, but the thing is we wouldn't be able to hold on to it. We'd have to basically sit here and probably even build a secondary army to do nothing but guard that particular settlement, because it's completely surrounded. We'll have Karond attacking it, we'll have Nordland attacking it, or Middenland attacking it, we'll have Reichland attacking it. It's an interesting proposition, though, because it could be a sort of like a breakwater against the Order Tide. Yeah, maybe we'll try that. I definitely want to take Ulthuan stuff, though, because we know the High Elves are going to declare war on us. They despise us. they will absolutely declare war on us as fast as they can. And while a lot of their provinces don't have walls, it's a pretty good time to attack them. But the Skull Reefs are obviously going to be priority. Anyway, I guess that's another end turn for us. Because we do have to sit here before we say aloud and we do stuff. And we're almost out of time in this episode, because so obviously sailing out of Albion is going to be a matter for next episode. Stability, ooh, growth and public order, I love it. It's exactly what we wanted, actually. And Citadel of Ledger, immediately going to get an upgrade as soon as we can. Then we'll upgrade the crafting district and I guess get you another manor. This will give us more money as well soon. Alright, and you, wow, it's taking a while to heal, so let's just keep healing then. Not much to do otherwise. At least, since this is the end of the episode, we can quickly get out of the way a few of these, like, boring turns where we just sort of sit there.
Or your corpse will
What do you want? You want a non-aggression pact. I did say I didn't want to fight the stupid Norskens. Fine, have a military agreement. Or a non-aggression pact and a trade agreement. There you go. Free money. We could always betray them later if we feel like it. I mean, if they're offering, I doubt we're going to get many other allies since everybody around here hates us except possibly the other Dark Elves. And then the Dark Elves might hate us as well, depending. 3 Knights in Hell. Recruitment of Witch Elves. We can't build Witch Elves. I hate how that came up. Crone has ordered a Death Knight be extended by 2 further Knights this year, so it's Death Knights now, I guess. The streets of Harganeth are awash with blood and viscera as its inhabitants release their pent-up year-long furies in a breathtaking orgy of bloodletting. So, post-COVID then, eh? Alright, as a result, Witch Elf recruitment costs have fallen, and their starting experience level has increased. Well, that would be swell if we could recruit them, or wanted to recruit them this early in the game. That's another end turn, it looks like. We'll start with this battle, possibly, if it's a battle, next episode. Because I want to heal to full. Maybe get the Mammoth, although I doubt we'll have the... I doubt we'll have the cash for it. Anyway, end turn. And just a couple more to go before we call it. Obviously, the rest of this episode is going to be admin. War declared, World Walkers, and Karond. I hope that the... What are you doing? What do you want? Defensive? No. Trade is about all I'm willing to do with you. Because you're going to get into fights with all the other factions. Ah, there we go. The restored port of Nagarath. Or Nagarath, rather. Did we read this before? I don't think so. Alright, I'm going to read it right now and then we'll call it. Alright, so Rakarth's Black Ark returns from the tropical shores of Lustria, filled to the brim with all manner of monstrosities to add to the Beastmaster's collection. Yet the port at Albion is small and already overcrowded. The arrival of the dark floating fortress and the ensuing influx of creatures will no doubt prove unmanageable. The port must be expanded. Though time is short before the Ark comes into dock, the upgrades must be completed in preparation for its arrival to usher in the whole of its beastly haul. Any costs such works incur will surely be worth the expense when a horde of chained Lustrian beasts spills out ripe for the breaking. Alright, so that's the first quest that we just completed. And next one, win the following battle. Oh, we already get the battle? Oh, okay. Okay, 8 Kroxigors. Wow, 4 sacred and 4 regular, eh? Well, that's going to be a tough. We won't be able to do that until we have an actual army. We will be getting some free Lustrian beasts out of it, though, and a free Black Ark, as well as the Whip of Agony on top of it. Which is nice. Contact Effect Discourage is one of, I guess, the weaker contact effects, although I guess it would work nicely on monsters. Oh, look, it's your Whip of Agony. And then you have the other whip. I guess you're doubling up on whips right now. Or at least you're hoping to. Alright, let's read this and then that'll be the end of this episode. The Black Ark has docked, and with it has arrived a bounty of monstrous cargo for Rakarth to dominate and grow his expansive assortment of loyal creatures. However, an ominous fog creeps towards the port of Albion, the stirrings of magic engulfing the Ark in its heavy mist. Figures move in the dark, appearing and disappearing as the sound of chains being broken carries across the tension in the air. The Lizardmen, many report, led by the ancient Kroxigor Nakai, have come to free the Lustrian beasts. If Rakarth is to keep his treasures, then there is reptilian blood to be spilled, and the fury of rabid beasts to be unleashed. To the victor shall go the spoils of Lustria, and Rakarth is not one to let his prizes slip so easily from his grasp. Alrighty, there we go. We've gotten some nice lore out of the way. We've gotten the entirety of Albion. Next time, we will be attacking the islands on the way to attack. This stuff belonged to Marienburg. At the very least, we should sack this stuff. We'll try to take Marienburg itself. No promises. I don't know if it'll be possible. If there's a full stack there, it might not. It might if we get 2 mammoths. We will have some cash, but it'll be something to consider. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to spend that. Both mammoths would allow us to do it, but it will mean that when we're not in a settlement, we'll probably have 0 income. We might be able to afford 1, but probably not both. I guess we'll see next time. Yeah, so with that said, as always, I do appreciate any and all feedback regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. If you have a second, please do take it to leave a like and or a comment to support the channel. It really does help. As always, all glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.